Hello and welcome to the Comedians OutLuke podcast. This week I was joined by Martin Westgate, a stand-up comedian who really is progressing up the comedy circuit. We've all died on our asses, but this guy has managed to die on national television on Britain's Got Talent. That said, he is highly regarded in the comedy world and has performed at the Comedy Store in Manchester and London. I recorded this conversation just after he performed at the highly acclaimed Wine Gums. You'll remember in the first conversation that I had with Nessie Ward, she spoke about this night and that Martin was going to perform at it. Well, it's here, and so is a conversation I had with Martin. I hope you enjoy. So just to kick this off, how did you progress from two comedy clubs from grueling open mic nights?
Hard work, dedication, and a lot of oral sex. I think.
Correct answer.
Yeah. No, you just put the work in and just network a lot and working material and boring answers like that. But yeah, mainly just
boring answer for a boring question.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't. It was an interesting question, but no, it's very bog standard and just meet the right people and be the right place at the right time. Really.
I always think it's good to get everyone's voice into the podcast. I had Dom Mackey on this a couple of weeks back, and he gave you many words of affirmation, maybe too many. He definitely has a man crush on you. How do you feel about Dom?
How do I feel about Dom? He's squidgy. No. No, he's a nice guy. He's very, very talented. And he's young. He's young, annoyingly. I'm 26. I'm not much older, but he started younger than me. So he
started at 18, didn't he? He was 18.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. No, he's doing well, and I consider him a friend.
You consider he says you and someone else are like his two comedy best friends.
Oh, that's sweet. But I don't think of him as a best friend, just a friend, maybe an acquaintance. I don't.
Just someone you know.
Yeah,
he saw a gig once.
Who? Dom? I've not. Don.
Begins with M.
Don? No.
He's doing Poor Life Choice at the moment.
Well,
a few people have told me that at 21 you don't have much experience of Poor Life Choice.
Well, unless you go and see the show, then it is a Poor Life Choice. No, it's a very good show.
Did you open for him at all?
I've supported him on a few of his dates, and will do on a few more, hopefully. Hint.
Did he pay you for those?
No, he didn't, bastard. No.
Bastard, fucker. Right, well, I'm never going to have him on the podcast again. You strike me as like the favourite nephew, favourite grandson, like in the family, the one that gets like the big sloppy kiss or like the cheek pinch. I mean, how do your family feel about what you do as in comedy?
In answer to the first bit, I was the favourite nephew, I was the favourite grandson, and then my
fuck you, other cousins.
Then my sister gave birth to two boys, and then I suddenly don't exist. No, they're very supportive of the comedy, especially they all are, but Dad takes a major interest in it because he's got a great sense of humour, and I think that's where I get it from. When I was 8, he gave me a Where's Wally's book for my 8th birthday, and he replaced all the pages with mirrors to say, I'm Wally. Thanks, Dad. Yeah, cheers. No, he's very supportive, and I think they all enjoy it. And
has he been to your gigs?
He's been to a couple, and he tries to sort of get his workmates on board and stuff like that. So he's very very supportive.
What does he do for a living?
He's fireman.
He's a fireman, all right. Yeah. That's all right. I think
firefighter, I think it's
firefighter. I don't know what the PC term is for that, but good. Well, if it was like a builder, I'd be a bit worried. You get a whole room full of hecklers and stuff. Yeah. But
well, to be fair, they have a sick sense of humour, firemen.
Do they?
Yeah, and
they do.
It's very dark and it's very banter. So I think growing up, I got a bit of a thick skin for it all, and I think that's probably shaped me. So it's his fault. I think I'm saying it is definitely his fault.
It's weird. I mean, you'll see photos of Martin attached to this podcast and all that, and it didn't strike me for someone that would be a good fireman.
Me? No, not at all. No. I don't like heights.
Quite a brave thing.
I'm 6'4" and I don't like heights. That's
never been a big fan of running into fires.
No, that's a stupid idea. If anything, you could say a flaming stupid idea.
There's one of the pun.
And I don't like cats. No, old trees. So I'd be no good as a fireman.
So cats, no trees. Yeah, I mean, actually, talking of firemen, I once got my finger stuck in a bolt lock at home. Okay. I was a kid. I don't know why. I grew up sticking my fingers in holes and stuff.
Well, and that's become a hobby ever since.
Yeah. It's not good for you, man.
No, I bet, no.
You get all kinds of like vitamins and stuff from doing that. And STDs, I think they're called.
Yeah, that's one.
That's the one, yeah. So I got my wedding finger caught in. I wasn't married at 7, by the way, but I got my finger caught in, and we tried butter, we tried lard, we tried all the usual things, and then my mum thought it'd be a good idea to call the fire brigade. It could have been your dad, I don't know. Call the fire brigade. They came out. They didn't just come out like in just a car. They came out with a whole fire engine because 7-year-old cool guys, right? They come in. The whole street knew about it.
Yeah.
It was from then on. My life was kind of, it was all about the kid who got his finger stuck in the lock. Yeah, nice. And the fire brigade came.
Yeah.
It was fine. They were very friendly. They just all they did was just hacksaw through the lock.
Yeah, it's nothing technical.
No.
Just destroy the door.
It happened again once.
So you didn't learn your lesson?
No, I did it again. You know what? It's weird because it's really nice to speak to a comedian that's actually in a relationship and a solid relationship.
Yeah.
Like you're engaged to be married. I'm engaged myself.
Oh, okay.
Because in my previous podcasts, people just seem to tell me that they're single, like Dom, single.
Yeah.
Right. I told all the listeners that he was into BDSM. He was just happy for anything, to be honest. He would get whatever he can get. Had Kitty Harvey on, a comedian.
I've not met her, no.
In London, and she is also desperate, but she's very picky.
Oh, okay.
Right, so I feel like I'm a bit of a pimp. I had another chat with.
Did you not put Kitty and Dom together? Is that?
No, she's in her 30s and she likes 6'3" people.
Oh well, that's Dom. That's Dom out then, isn't it?
I'm glad that I was in a relationship while I had a chat to her, because if not, I would have really felt shit about myself. She told me what her parameters were.
So not me.
Not me then. I only booked her for the thing just to see to find that out. But I'm just trying to match them both. I'm just basically becoming a dating agency. I never thought I'd do that, but I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very happy.
Yeah.
We booked the wedding, which is nice, in Norwich at Norwich Castle.
Oh, hello.
So I can be the princess I always wanted to be and get married in a castle.
Is she your sister?
Not that I know of, but it's Norfolk, so
you'll find out when you have kids.
The family tree's more of a stump, to be honest. No, it's nice. We're all looking forward to it. And
just count your kids' toes and fingers when
they come along. Yeah.
Oh god, I've never do a gig in Norwich now.
I mean, I do incest stuff in Norwich anyway, and I'm from. But I think it's like ownership.
You're allowed to, yeah.
I'm allowed to, black comedians say the N word on stage. I can use the I word. That's That's how it works.
I live in the Fens in Cambridge, which we also have our own.
Yeah. That's webbed. That is webbed more than 6, isn't it?
Yeah. One of the things I've noticed, like from speaking to comedians, from gigging, networking, and all that sort of stuff, a lot of comedians speak very highly of you. Like you've been like a good support system for a lot of people. You've given like new comics an opportunity and all that sort of stuff as a promoter. Has there been like any comedians like for you that have been like that support system? Like, have you ever had like almost like a mentor?
Not strictly. I just kind of pick up. I just kind of absorb from all sorts of people. I don't think you can have one person and one gospel truth in comedy. I think you kind of find out what's good for you, and you just take bits from other people. I had when I first started out, there was a comedian called Alex Oliver. Well, he's still there. He still works and gigs in Norwich. But I listened to him quite a lot when I first started out because I thought he was good to listen to. At the moment, I'm kind of listening to Tim Fitzhigham. He works at the BBC, and we do some stuff with him, and he's a great mentor because he's just it's that little extra experience we got there. But I think that I've picked up from a lot of people have been supportive.
You've got to sponge it all up.
I spend a lot of time with Carl Johnson. I must mention, otherwise you'll kill me.
I'll come on the podcast sometime.
And we riff off each other quite a lot, and he's done it a little bit longer than I have, so he's quite good for experience as well.
How long have you been doing it, by the way?
So I'm coming up to 3 years soon, it's not. Okay. I'm still a baby in it all, really. I think in the grand scheme of things. But
you're experienced, man. Like you're busy. You're busy.
Yeah, and I think I don't. I've not in an arrogant way, but I've lost count how many gigs I've done. I don't think you can kind of go off years or how long you've got, because I could have done it for 3 years and done 2 gigs in that time.
That's true. Or died every time you've done it.
Yeah, where I've met some comedians done it a lot longer than I have, and you shouldn't be doing it as long.
Yeah, I know. Probably know the same names.
Not going to name any names at all, No, I'm not. But no, I think it's the amount of gigs and the type of gigs, and I've done a nice variety. I started doing open mics with mixed bills, which is good because you've got to try and make poets laugh, which is a pain in the arse because they're miserable. Musicians as well, and then you kind of get onto just more comedy nights, and then you do nice clubs like Wine Gums and stuff like that.
I've never died actually at a music open mic night. Weirdly,
okay,
I've always gone down really well, but I don't know whether this because I feel kind of bad for me that I'm at a music open mic night and trying to turn an audience, but it seems to have gone alright. Like every time I've done it, but I didn't like it because it was hard work. Yeah, like trying to get them on your side. Because they get a little bit annoyed that they have to start listening to some prick on stage.
I don't like mixed bills, really. No. In a very much, I'm going to have a comedian, a few musicians, and a comedian and stuff like that. You should have two seconds. It's not fair on the musicians as well, where they're just trying to build an atmosphere again, and some bloke doing knob gags straight after a great guitar riff isn't kind of what they want. But everyone's got to start somewhere, and they have their place, but it's not.
But I guess I did them because I did a lot of music before. Okay. And I knew the places I went to. I sort of just came back to it, and they're like, "Oh, fucking hell! Last time I saw you had a guitar, but no worries." Yeah, it went alright. And here I am.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, so good.
But aside from doing just gigging yourself, you book yourself up so you can't breathe. Just do as much as you can, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Have you done a course at all?
I've not done any official courses. I've today of recording. I did a workshop at the BBC with Tim Fitzheim. Yeah. And that's the closest to a course I've got. But I've not done a structured go to somewhere and they'll teach you how to do stand up. It's fine if people do. I'm not criticising at all. It's not for me. I think. I do need a bit of discipline in terms of writing and stuff like that, but I think I get more out of that if I sit with someone I like or get on with, and we'll riff off each other rather than go to a course and do X, Y, and Z. And it just feels a bit. I don't think you can necessarily teach stand up. You've either got it, you haven't. You can coach it. I don't think you can teach it.
So you'd rather sort of one-on-one sort of.
Yeah, definitely.
You'd rather I don't know, collaborate with someone rather than.
Yeah, I think so, and then just go and gig straight away. Yeah.
One of the comedians I spoke to, Paul Richards. You probably met him.
Paul.
Very very good comedian, very good musician. Yeah. He's done a lot of house gigs to practice.
Yeah.
Have you? Is that a thing for you as well?
I've not done house gigs. I quite like the idea of them. I think if I had a bigger house, I'd do one myself. Yeah. But they're quite nice, and you're quite supportive.
He just held loads of people to ransom for like hostage for 2 hours. They finished at 2 a.m. Yeah. You didn't go?
I didn't go. I did hear about it, but yeah.
I think only one of them stayed awake for it, but he got about 40 minutes out of a 2-hour set. But yeah, that's not bad. Not bad. Obviously, you're at Wine Gums tonight. Yep. I'm not going to say the date because it completely fucks up good listening to the back catalogue. Yep. How did you feel about it? How did you feel?
It was all right. Yeah. It's a very long room if you ever come. It's
narrow.
It's very long and narrow. And no, it's fun. It was a fun gig. There's a few bits I need to iron out myself, but that's what it's all about. And it's I thought I had them for most of the time, which is nice. Winning
for most of the time.
So that's all you can ask for. 80-20. 8% of the time I had them. 20%.
They're looking at me most of the time.
Yeah, I'll do. They're facing the right way, which is always bonus. No, it's fun. It's good. I like Nessie's gigs. They're always quite fun. And yeah, she looks after the acts well, which is always a bonus.
Yeah. So what's the last thing you do before you go on?
Have a wank. No. It's
not a bad idea.
It's not a family podcast, is it? Good. No, I don't really know. I don't really have a ritual. The only thing I have is I have to wear a check shirt when I do stand up.
Always. Just a thing.
I just have to. It's almost like.
Is it like this agony aunt thing where you have lucky shorts? That you wear?
And it's become that. Initially, I wore a check shirt with trainers and jeans and a t-shirt underneath, and it's kind of quite casual. And then as it's kind of gone on, I've added things. I've added nice brown shoes. I've done the buttons up. I occasionally wear a jacket. It's kind of I've progressed and kind of promoted myself and got a different uniform.
I reckon you should do an annual Steve Jobs talk where we update the Apple people on what they're doing. So this year I have done my top button up. Yep. And we're changing things. We've moved the sofa from this side of the room to the other side of the room.
That's what I'm going to do, I think.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, be my Edinburgh tour. That's what it's going to Edinburgh show.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so talking of Edinburgh, you're off to Edinburgh this year?
I don't plan to. I'm taking a show at the moment. If I go up, it'll just be like a compilation thing where I jump on different things. I've not taken a show up yet. I intend to take something up to Edinburgh eventually. I've got a show at the minute called Simples, which I'm working on. I did have a show Acts Entertainment. I mean, the shows are very similar. I've just changed the title, to be honest. But
so Simples, obviously, is that coming from the
Meerkat?
You got a meerkat on your shoulder.
I really like meerkats. That's kind of my.
Was that before they were famous?
Before they were famous, yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I'm right from the start. No, I was toying with an idea because I had Acts Entertainment as a show title, so it was kind of like an exposure on Britain's Got Talent a little bit because that was just after I'd been on.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'll do that show. And then as the show's progressed, I didn't really want it to be about Britain's Got Talent. I wanted it just to be simple jokes and just having a bit of a laugh. I'm not really a comedian to prove a point or anything like that. I'm not political.
No.
I'm a white man, so I don't really have a USP. I don't have that. I'm working class really, but borderline middle class. You can probably tell on my voice. I went to a nice sixth form, so I don't really have anything to go on. So it's just going to be jokes for jokes'
sake. They had a whiteboard.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It was electronic occasionally when we plugged it in, and yeah, I just wanted jokes for jokes' sake. I thought Simples. It's nice. It's a fun title. I might do a joke about a meerkat. You never know. I might write one.
You may just slip one in there.
I may just slip one in there.
Or maybe just make a joke of there not being one.
Yeah.
If you get to the end of the show and just be like,
meerkat.
If you're expecting like a joke about a meerkat, sorry, I've got to go now.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah. Simples. There it is.
Yeah, that's it. I've written it. No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
One of the questions I always ask comedians is like, what's the worst gig you've ever done? I think yours is probably quite obvious.
Yeah.
And I know you don't like talking about it.
Oh no, I don't mind at all.
You're all right now.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm not bitter. No, it's fine. No, it was a good experience. I'm glad I've done it.
Because I heard a few things about it, like that, because it's obviously the whole thing is very manufactured. The whole like show, like you've got people like Ant and Dec doing like reaction shots all the time, and obviously wherever they've got the microphones picking up the audience. Would be what you'd hear on stage. So on the TV at home.
Yeah.
So from what I know from other people that have done Britain's Got Talent and stuff is that they will obviously edit it in a way that reflects what the best for the show or the story of the show.
They also said, because my other half, she was in the audience, and on the YouTube clip, there's a nice shot of her head in hands with a sort of look of, oh no, not again, Martin. Don't know where that look
Was it the last time she came to one of your gigs?
No, she has come since. But no, they said to her, don't be surprised if they take the audience reaction from you and put it on an audition you weren't even at. So they own that time of you.
Really?
Audience acts, they just own you.
Yeah, I mean, they've released, people have released like contracts that people get out at the end of, like Lost Voice guy won one year, and someone got hold of like one of the contracts that they get, and it's not good for anyone who does it. So even if you had got through or done well, it may not have been the best thing for you anyway. And
but I'm glad I've done it. I got, to be honest, there'd be comedians out there who would kill to die on ITV on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So that's a positive. Got a lot of abuse on Twitter, which was fun. But you kind of get over.
But then there's a good little insight, man, into what it will be like anyway.
Hopefully is the end game. That'll be what it's like.
I want to be trolled by the masses.
Yeah, as long as I don't go and snog someone else like a certain comedian on Strictly Come Dancing, it'll be all right. It's. But no, but Britain's Got Talent thing gave me a show. It gave me Acts Entertainment. It gave me the confidence to write different stuff. Because before then, I was just doing one-liners. I'm still quite a one-liner based comedian, but I've kind of
from what I've noticed from watching you is that you've got your one-liners, you've got your the ones that occasionally get the groans, but you seem to be able to feed off the atmosphere really well.
That's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
But the Britain's Got Talent stuff was very Christmas cracker jokes. Yeah. And I've kind of developed that for it's not so. Yes, I've got them in there. You've seen them tonight. Yeah. But they're a small part of what I'm doing, and I'm aware where they are, and I know how to build around it.
Do you wish going back, say if you were to do like Britain's Got Talent again, do you wish like you did a bit more of the picking on the judges?
Yeah, because that's looking at it.
Done really well.
That's what they want. That's what they wanted. Robert White did it essentially with David Walliams with his keyboard and stuff, and that's what they liked. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't listened to the producers as much. I gave them scripts, I gave them videos, and they chose which jokes they wanted.
Really? Yeah.
And I was against some of them. They went, no, do those ones, they're really funny. And I was like, are you sure? They went, yeah. And I went, well, you're producers, cool. You obviously know what you're doing. Yeah. My handlers and stuff. So I kind of was a bit blind to it all. And I went, yeah, do that. So I did. But in hindsight, I should have just stuck to my guns and did what I wanted to do.
But those jokes you did, though, have like gone down a storm everywhere else, though.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the interesting thing.
The only one that didn't was the Household Carvery.
Okay.
I had a roast dinner at Buckingham Palace, you could say I had household cavalry, which is obviously household cavalry. That's that pun. It's awful. It's really. I wrote that for Britain's Got Talent. And
really?
they went, oh, yeah, that's great. And I went, no, I've got better stuff. No, do that, that'd be great. So I did it, and it didn't
work.
No.
So how did you pick yourself up after that? Like,
just gigged.
Just gigs. You just had to get back on stage and just keep doing it to prove to yourself.
I had the audition on the Sunday, and then on the Monday I was gigging in Milton Keynes. But it kind of gave me a kick up the arse, because on the train to Milton Keynes from London, I was writing new stuff, and I wrote a whole new 10 minutes, which I did that gig, which I've never done before. I usually sit on material for a while, and I usually do a new bit here and there, but that's the first time I've gone, right, new 10 minutes, and it worked, and that gave me the confidence to go, actually, you can do funny stuff, Martin. You can do more than just puns, so you can. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with pun. I love pun comedians. There's one, Chris Norton Walker, he's great. Milton Jones, Tim Vine, the greats, they're all great, but I think I just want to be more. I never wanted to be a one-liner comedian when I started.
You were just good at it.
That's just kind of the way it went. So actually, but there's always this formula they kind of say. It's like the first 2 years you're just working out, can I be funny? Can I stand on stage? Then 2 to 5 years you're finding out what you're actually good at and where your voice is. Then 5+ you kind of start owning your art a little bit. So really the first 2 years it may have been one-liners, but it was just, can I be funny on stage? And I could.
One-liners is a good way to go.
Yeah, and there's Jason Stamp as well, who operates in Cambridge.
Of course.
And we speak about this, and he said he started off as one-liner comedian, and he's nowhere near that now. He's very much narrative. He does a lot more observational stuff, and that's probably a good example of 1 to 2 years, or 0 to 2 years, you do your one-liners, whatever you need to do to get by. 2 to 5, you start finding your voice, and he's there now. He's in that. I think he's even 5. I'm pretty sure he's 5+, so he's owning his craft. Whereas I'm still 2 to 5, working out what I'm good at. I think I have kind of now.
You seem to you're booking up gigs, man. And, and you've got a name at least within the comedy,
which is nice. I didn't realise I had such a.
Everyone says it, man.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Your name pops up all the time, which is. Obviously, you wouldn't know that. It's like you come in and MC in a My Night. Like, you wouldn't have known that people loved your set that day.
No, you get a feeling like they're enjoying themselves in the moment, but you don't. You never hear of the. It's like a paramedic. Picking up a sick person, dropping in hospital. Never find out if they were fine or not.
No, that's true. Yeah.
That's kind of what you do. You kind of pick up an audience for a little bit, and then just go, oh, cool, that's me done. And then you never find out whether you did all right or not. But
the only thing with doing like one-liner stuff though is that you'd have to have a hell of a lot more material.
To
fill up an hour.
This is it. And another thing Alex Oliver said to me, and he said, you don't have enough to be a one-liner comedian at the moment.
Right.
And they're not good enough. Like the one-liners aren't good enough on themselves. And that's where a lot of people said, but when my personality comes through is when I'm the funniest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is kind of where I write a few jokes and then just do a bit around it. I was a bit more structured tonight than I usually am. Don't know why, I just felt I wanted to do it that way. But no, it's almost, this is now, because it's straight after a gig, it's turned into a post-match interview. That's what it's turned into. It's like, I've just scored a hat-trick, it's all right, I'll probably get in the team next week, it'll be all good.
How do you feel about the red card? Well, this is a team game.
I think you should take red cards. A comedy club in Norwich, so that's quite nice.
I should try puns, man. I've never really done them, man. I struggle with them. Like, I appreciate like pun comedians, right? And I think the craft is amazing, and it's because of that I don't think I could do it. Like, I'm more of I take people on a journey. The content that I talk about is quite dark. It's about like bipolar and stuff like that, and
bipolar, sexually confused bear in the Arctic. That's what that is.
See, there's a pun. I couldn't do that.
It used to be I used to open with that. But no, the bipolar, the puns, you just manufacture backwards. So you come up with the punchline first, and then you just go backwards. So I find them a lot easier because you just go bipolar, bisexual, polar bear. Yeah, that'll do.
Okay, so
that's the joke.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not that I'm an expert, but that's kind of how I started writing.
Maybe you could set up yourself a comedy course and teach it.
I could become a thing I hate. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things, man. Like there's a debate about it amongst a lot of comedians. Like you wonder why they're doing the teaching. Like why are you teaching it? You should be on selling out arenas and stuff like that.
But then I think maybe some people have found their niche, like they're a good club comic, but maybe not. There's this, again, I don't confess to be an expert or anything. I'm still very new, but I think there's certain pigeonholes of comedians where they're good live club comics.
Yeah,
never gonna be on telly, but they're shit hot comics and they're rocking the clubs.
Yeah,
and that's what they do well. And then there's others that maybe aren't so good in the clubs, but they'll rock live at the Apollo and they'll do all the panel shows and they'll do So there is different pigeonholes of comedians and stuff like that. So it's just, and then some might just do really well in the clubs and then they're really good at the courses.
I'm just happy to do well at either of them. That's fine.
I just don't want to do a proper job. That's
right. Yeah. So. Do you pick yourself up? Just gig more.
Just gig more. That's just gig, and just don't worry if it goes wrong.
Aside from the obvious, what advice would you give to like comedians just starting out? Like aside from like the obvious gig loads.
To be honest,
it is that.
Go and watch comedy as well.
Go and watch comedy,
and it's not just don't buy Michael McIntyre DVD. Don't do that.
No,
go and actually see live.
Go to comedy clubs, open mic nights.
Yeah, and it's not just go and watch Russell Howard's tour. Don't go and watch the big names. Go and watch not necessarily me, but people like me, and watch people who are a couple of years above you. Come and watch nights like Wine Gums, where it's professional comics mostly on the bill.
Yeah,
you may not have heard of them necessarily, but they're shit hot professional comics. Just go and watch a lot of comedy. Don't be afraid to try new stuff. It may not work. I mean, I had a horrible gag which I tried once and it never worked, so I didn't do it ever again. It was just I'm going to lay down some sick beats for you, and I started pretending to vomit. And it was just like, they're sick beats, man. And it's like, that's not what I want to do. So,
it's quite funny, but it's quite a difficult one to get them on your side.
And you two have to commit to that. And I just never worked for me. And it made my friends who came with me to watch absolutely die.
It's the sort of one that if I riffed off something like that, and then I started it, and I went, oh God, what have I done?
Yeah, it's one of those. So, but don't be afraid to try it, because I tried it and go, oh, that's not me, so I'm not going to do that again.
Do you have a rule like try it twice, try it 3 times, or
5 times? 5 times. And if it works more than it doesn't, then I'll keep it in and possibly work on it. If it works, if it works less,
all the time,
if it doesn't work more times than it does, then you just can it. Or I save it, but then it might work somewhere else as a part of a bigger thing. I started finding that stuff I wrote when I first started,
you can slip them in.
Were little one-liners, but now they work as a part of a bigger thing, and it's made the joke a bit more substantial. So it's just that. Just don't throw away stuff. Don't be afraid to revisit old stuff once you get a few years into it. The one big thing as well is that comedians have got young comedians, new comedians that I meet. I say new comedians like I'm experienced, but like people who are just starting out say to me, I have to do this a different 10 minutes every time. I have to do a different set. No, you don't. I paraded with the same 10 minutes for about a year and a bit. Yeah. Changed the odd bit here and there.
So how did you find that did you not feel a bit guilty about No. Okay.
I just
say the same audience members, doesn't matter.
Well, let's be fair. Like, you're not. All right, you may be doing the same night. I come do Wine Gums again. Are you going to have the same audience? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
Like, there's very rarely you're going to have 100% the same audience. I think. And well, if you do, then you change it. Sort of scout out who's been before. You can judge if they've seen you before.
Yeah.
But you that's reading the room. That comes later. But yeah, just hone this. And if you go to a new material night, doesn't mean that you have to do new material.
No.
You're a new act. No one's heard of you before. No one's probably seen your material before. So essentially, your material is new material.
Yeah.
Just go and do what you're doing. Just own that 10 minutes. People who start in London probably do 5 minutes first. And go. I hardly did 5s. I kind of started on 10s.
Oh, okay.
So I can't do 5s or 10s now. But you own what you're doing. Own your tight 5, your tight 10, and in your club 20 and stuff like that. Just own that and just tour that around. Change. I do seasonal jokes. Like I did a Christmas joke today. I can kind of still get away with it in March because the way I'm presenting it to the audience. So it's kind of all right. If you've got a Halloween joke, throw that in when it's October. If you've got a Christmas joke, throw that in around the seasons. Chop and change. If there's anything topical that's come in, throw that in, but just keep 80% the same stuff and just own that and work on that and make that your thing. And then when you get a bit more experience, cool, chop and change. But just for the first year or so, just own what you're doing and don't worry if it doesn't work.
I quite like to think that with comedy, if you have like your 5 minutes, if you got your 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, as you do, as you've got that good, you can then start trying to build that. I guess so. Slip in other jokes, try new stuff within it. As part of as part of a bigger picture.
I mean, I don't know if you heard it. I've got a lovely joke about role play and superheroes. That joke has been in since day dot, essentially.
Really?
That's stayed with me. And that used to just be a standalone joke on its own, but now it's a part of a bigger relationship bit that I do. But it's become my anchor point. I know that's pretty much halfway in my 10-minute set. So that's why I anchor things off. And it's a good joke. I like it. It gets a groan now and then because it's a pun. But that's just...
Sometimes a groan's as good as a laugh,
Yeah.
The bigger the groan,
well, exactly. It depends
the worse the pun.
Depends what you're doing. You don't want laughing insects, but you do want groans.
That's true.
But that stayed with... I've done it. I've done comedy for about 3 years, coming up 3 years, and that's still a cornerstone joke. So I don't make any apologies for that because it works. And I can pretty much guarantee I haven't been seen by the same people.
Yeah, and the thing is, weirdly enough, like years ago, like in America, people used to get annoyed if you didn't do stuff they recognised.
Yeah,
it used to be a thing where they'd actually get angry with you if you didn't. Oh, why didn't you do the joke you did like 20 years ago? What's wrong with you?
I mean, it's different to music where musicians can do old classics. People love it. So you need to have an essence of new stuff.
Yeah,
because you need to keep your material fresh. But just if they haven't seen you before, why do a new 10 minutes? Just own that. That's me anyway. That's my opinion. I'm not saying it's right, but that's
true. Does your partner find you funny?
You have to ask her that. I like to think she does.
Does she still come to your gigs?
She does occasionally come to my gigs. She started comedy herself.
Does she?
I'm going to give her a plug now. She's doing a gig next weekend for Comic Relief.
Oh, okay.
It's this thing of if you've never done stand up before, come and do your first gig in front of 200 people at the Junction in Cambridge for Comic Relief. And I stitched her up quite nicely. We had an agreement that I don't like heights, as I mentioned. I had to go rock climbing to do something to challenge me. And I said, well, okay, you don't like talking in front of people, you can do stand-up. And that's progressed from doing a cheeky 5 minutes in a club in London to go and do 5 minutes in front of 200 people for Comic Relief. Yeah, go and do that. So that's how that's progressed.
Do you know what's weird about you is that you're scared of heights, but you're very fucking tall.
I know, it's exactly. I've got an extra foot on most people. That's the problem.
You're already pretty high anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I don't like it. But yeah, she's very supportive. And it's quite nice now she's got involved in comedy a bit. She'd always come and meet the people. She comes to gigs, she meets a lot of my friends and stuff like that. She talks to them and stuff like that. But it's nice now she's doing the process herself. And she
understands it a bit more.
And we're very different in our styles. I do one-liners, I do silly jokes. She's more anecdotal and more narrative. Yeah. So there's a lot of time I can't help her, but it's nice seeing her process. And I think she's now hopefully she's now realising what I do and what I go through. So I'm a lazy writer, so I do fuck all. But she's now realising everything that goes into it. So it's quite nice. It's nice to watch and it's nice to see. And hopefully she'll do it. She may not do comedy ever again. It may just be the one-off. Yeah. But she's done it. I've done rock climbing. I quite enjoyed rock climbing.
Did you?
Yeah. I do it again. In fact, I have done it again. In fact, I proposed to her rock climbing. So it's.
Nice. Yeah.
It's quite sweet.
Good pun.
Yeah, rock. Oh, I didn't think of that. Write that down. No, she may never do it again, but she's given it a go, and that's nice. And I think it's been good for her to put things on paper in a different way. So
nice.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Weird. Okay, so next year, what have you got planned?
2020. Get married. That's one.
Well, it's 2019 at the moment. We're still within that year. Yeah. So this year and beyond.
Okay, so this year. 2019, develop my Hooma brand, my club in Norwich.
Oh, yeah. Which I'll be at, I think, sometime.
Yeah, you will be. One of our nights. So make that a thing. I'm getting bookings all the time for that, which is nice. I kind of want to... There's a lot of good clubs coming up in Norwich, and I kind of want to make something of it and make that a thing and make Norwich a bit more a centre for comedy. Yeah. Cambridge is lovely to gig. Cambridge and Norwich are two nice places in East Anglia to gig. Ipswich is coming online as well, the Glass Eye Boys. Yeah, exactly, So, it's the sort of three...
I'll be there on Monday, the Glass Eyes.
Lovely. You've got Steph Todd headlining there,
I think so, yeah.
It could be nice. So there's three good cities or towns in Ipswich. It's the case because they're not quite cool enough to be a city. Yeah. There's nice, and I think, Norwich needs to be part of that. So that's one plan for me. Develop the show, simples. Just get more, become a bit more of not a name as such, but just get more good gigs like Wine Gums and stuff like that. Really, so
yeah, start getting paid for it a bit more.
Yeah, I mean it's happening already, which is quite nice.
Yeah,
I'm doing more paid gigs than not, which is. But for the tax purposes, I'm still doing open mics.
Yeah. If anyone from Agent Revenue listening,
I don't do any paid gigs at all.
No,
expenses only.
Cool. Are you happy?
I'm ecstatic. It's
good.
It's been a lovely podcast, a lovely night. It's all been very busy today, but it's nice.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, man.
No, thanks for having me.
It was so great to speak to Martin, just fresh off the stage, about comedy and about how he's working his way around the comedy circuit. I really do strongly recommend going to see this guy perform wherever he's performing. Check out the show notes, because that's where I'll have links to where you could buy tickets to his new show, Simples, and all the ways you can follow him on Twitter and Facebook. As usual, if you're enjoying these conversations, please do subscribe, rate, review, and share it with all your friends. And if you can donate, that would be amazing. You can go and head over to the website at www.lukeanthonycomedy.co.uk/podcast, and you can hit the donate button. Every little does help. My next conversation with Nathan Gibbons, so stay tuned for that. For now, goodbye, and I'll see you soon.